Hello and welcome to Sacred Science Channel, where we explore the fascinating world of sacred geometry. It is a fascinating subject that can help you understand the underlying principles of the universe. So if you are interested in exploring this fascinating field of knowledge, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button and join us on this journey of discovery and self-exploration. Together, we will unlock the secrets of the universe. Welcome back to my channel. Today, the topic is going to be more on about living your life to the fullest. So it's about the quantum hacks for living your best life. All right. In sacred geometry, the number one represents unity and singularity. All right. Why am I talking about the number one? As I'm going through the process of explaining about the sacred geometry of number one, which plays a very relevant role within us, within the universe, within everything, I wanted to explain a little bit about the number one before I bring you into the space of how to use the number one as a living, as the process to living your best path or opening your best path. Okay. So as I mentioned, in sacred geometry, the number one represents unity and singularity, and it plays a crucial role in creation and manifestations of all things. All right. So before we dive into this topic, before I forget, I want you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification so you don't miss any of my future videos. All right. And I'm grateful for you supporting my video. Now, first, I like to share my knowledge in the authenticity of number one and its significance in sacred geometry and in spiritual and dimensional theories. Yeah. By sharing these key points with you, I hope you can gain a deep understanding the importance of the significance of number one in sacred geometry. Now, in sacred geometry, the number one represents the fundamental unity, the oneness of all things. It's often seen as the starting point of creation, the source from which all other numbers and geometrical shapes are derived. The number one is also associated with the concept of wholeness and completeness in spiritual and philosophical traditions. It is often viewed as a symbol of a divine, spiritual, and philosophical representation, an ultimate reality that underlies of all existence. So you can see where I'm going with this, right? In dimensional theory, the number one is linked to the concept of singularity, which refers to one point in space and time, where the laws of the physics break down. This idea is explored in fields such as quantum mechanics and black hole theory. The study can keep going on and on about singularity and as how it's seen as the key to unlocking the mysteries of the universe. All right. So the significance of number one can also be seen in its appearance in various geometric shapes, patterns, such as the circle and the point. All right. So these shapes are seen fundamental building blocks of sacred geometry, such as the octahedron. All right. So to continue with the first dimension and the number one and how it influenced the octahedron. In the realm of sacred geometry, the number one and the first dimensions are closely linked, as they both represent the concept of unity and singularity. The first dimension is often described as a single point in space representing the origin of all existence. Okay, so one of the ways in which number one is expressed in sacred geometry is through the octahedron. All right, a three-dimensional shape that is made up of 8 equilateral triangles. The octahedron is a fundamental shape in sacred geometry, and it is thought to represent how it brings the balance and flow of harmony into the universe. All right. So you can see the flow of harmony I meant. So to get to the flow of the harmony, we need to get to the number one. So when we break down the octahedron into its constituent parts, we can see the influence of the number one. Each point of the octahedron represents a singularity, a point in space and time, where all dimensions collapse into a single point. All right. So the 6 points of the octahedron represents the 6 directions of space: up, down, left, right, front, and back. Yeah. So the 8 points represent the center of the octahedron. So when you're looking at the whole circle, yes, there's 6 directions to it, and the center is considered as the 8th point. When all this meets and all dimensions collapse into the single point, this is where it all happens. This is where it all starts. In many spiritual and philosophical traditions, the number 1 is considered to be the beginning and source of all creation. As such, it holds a special space or place in the universe and is seen as a fundamental aspect of reality. From a metaphysical perspective, the number 1 is thought to be representing the underlying unity to interconnectedness of all things in the universe. This concept of unity and oneness can influence human behavior in a variety of ways, encouraging individuals to see themselves as part of a larger whole and to act in ways that promote harmony and cooperative with others and the natural world. Okay, so it's not so much that I want to speak about the number 1 here, but I'm talking about the aspect of the number 1 here as a sacred geometry space, because this is where I'm going to bring you into the real picture. All right, so just keep listening. All right. At the most fundamental level, all matter is composed of tiny particles called quarks and leptons. These particles are constantly interacting with each other and exchanging energy, creating a complex structure that we see around us. So one of the most fascinating aspects of quantum physics is that our thoughts and intentions can influence the behavior of these particles. Non-local particles that you can't even see is being influenced by our thoughts and intentions. How crazy is this? So when we focus on our attention on a particular outcome, we create a vibrational frequency that is aligned with that outcome. This frequency then interacts with this energy field of the universe, creating a resonance that attracts the desired outcome into our reality. Okay, this is where the power of number 1 comes in. By focusing our intentions on the unity and singularity represented by the number 1, we align ourselves with the fundamental creative energy of the universe. This energy field is infinite in its potential and can be used to manifest any desired outcomes. Any desired outcomes. Okay, to use 1 as a creation field, all we need to do is we need to start by setting a clear intention for what we want to manifest in your life. So it is about what you want to manifest in your life. So visualize this outcome as already being a reality and feel the emotion that comes within it. Focus on the unity and interconnectedness of all things and trust that the quantum field will bring your desires into manifestation. Okay, it's easy said, yeah. But what I'm going to bring here is the practice, the technique. You will begin to notice synchronicities when you start practicing the technique arising, that you see the synchronicity in your life that are aligned with your desired outcome. Okay, so you got to trust the power of the quantum universe and the unity represented by the number 1. Okay, so you have the ability to create your own reality. Now, one sacred geometry that I really need to specify here is the Fibonacci sequence. In the Fibonacci sequence, a series of numbers in which each number is the number of the 2 preceding numbers. It is naturally occurring sequence that can be found in various aspects of nature, including the branching pattern of trees, the spiral patterns of seashells, and the arrangements of leaves on the stem. Interestingly, the Fibonacci sequence begins with the number 1. This is significant because it represents the starting point of all creation, just as the universe begins with a single point of singularity. The Fibonacci sequence begins with the number 1 from which all subsequent numbers are derived. The number 1 is also significant in the Fibonacci sequence because it is the only number that is not the sum of 2 preceding numbers. Why? Because it's the beginning. This reinforces the idea that the number one is a unique and foundational number representing the singularity and unity of all creation. When we apply the Fibonacci sequence to our understanding of the quantum universe, we begin to see the interconnectedness of all things. The spiral patterns that emerge from the Fibonacci sequence are similar to the spirals found in the galaxy, the hurricanes, and even the inner ear, the cochlea in your ear. Yeah? This demonstrates that the underlying harmony and order of the universe, with each individual part contributing to the greater whole. By understanding the significance of number one in the Fibonacci sequence and in the creation itself, we can begin to tap into the infinite potential of the quantum field. By aligning ourselves with the energy of unity and using the Fibonacci sequence as a tool of manifestation, we can bring about positive change into our life and the world around us. Understanding the significance, of course, of the number one is essential for setting that pathway towards the personal growth and spiritual evolution. The number one represents the starting point of all creation, the singularity from which all subsequent numbers and patterns emerge. In this sense, the number one serves as a foundation for all growth and transformation. When we understand the power of number one, we can begin to align ourselves with the creative energy of the universe. By focusing our intention and attention on one unity and singularity, we set a clear pathway towards our desired outcomes. This allows us to harness the quantum field to manifest our dreams into reality. Okay. Now, when you really look at it in a very much in a practical way, in a binary term with a computer, you've always seen the 1 and 0. The number 1 and 0 are crucial in creation and used as a binary in technology because they represent the fundamental building blocks of all digital information. Yeah. So these binary codes is the language of computers, which was learned through the universal sacred geometry that allows them to process and manipulate information in a very highly efficient manner. All right. So these are binary codes, isn't it? So the deeper level of significance of the number one, together with the 0, lies in the representation of dualistic nature of existence. The number one represents unity and singularity, while the number 0 represents nothingness and emptiness. So together, they represent the interplay between being and non-being, creation and destruction, form and formlessness. In the text of technology, the use of binary code allows for precise, efficient representation of information. Yeah. So this is the revolution, the way we live and work, enabling us to communicate, create, and innovate on a scale that would have been impossible without the ones and zeros. So the number one is significant in this process because it represents, again, the singularity and unity from which all subsequent numbers and patterns are emerging. By aligning ourselves, by tapping into the infinite potential in the quantum field, we can harness the power of creation to bring about positive changes in our life. To use the power of intention and the number one as the quantum hack of living your best life, start by setting clear intentions. This is where it all begins. For what you want to manifest in your life. You just don't visualize it. You already become it. Being in a reality, feel the emotions that comes with them. Focus on togetherness, where this story adding to the other story that you're manifesting, trusting the quantum field that you are kind of unlocking your desires and manifestation. As you practice this technique, you may begin to notice synchronicity and opportunities arising in your life that are aligned with your desired outcomes. So trust in the power of quantum universe and the unity represented by this number one. Remember, the intention is not just about what we want to manifest, but also who we want to be in this world. By setting intentions for personal growth and spiritual evolution, we can align ourselves with the creative energy of universe and tap into our true potential. Okay. How do we set intention, focus on attention on the number one? How can we do that? All right. How are we going to begin this creation? Okay. This is just not creating a vibrational frequency. You're completely opening up the whole quantum field, attracting the desired outcome into your reality. All right. The first thing is first, set a clear intention. Begin by setting a clear intention for what you want to manifest in your life, not what you want to see or copying others, is what you want in your actual life. This can be specific goal, personal quality, or even your self-development. All right. The shift in mindset and perspective. The key is to specific and clear about what you want to create. Be very specific and be very clear about what you want. Sit down within and see what you really want to do in this world, what you want to be, how you want to be, where you want to be. Yeah, that is creating a clear intention. The second step is once you have set your intention, you have to now visualize the outcome as if it has already happened. See yourself in the future, experiencing the outcome you desire. Be as detailed and vivid as possible, using all your senses to make the visualization as real as possible, as if you are in a dream. You know, when something is chasing you in a dream, you feel the fear, you feel your heart raising high, and you feel, everything that is in relation to fear. So it's exactly the same. When you're creating intention, you want to become something, you need to create it with so much of love. You have to create it in so much actuality that it has already happened or really happening. All right. So the third thing is focusing on the number one, the path. Only one way. As you visualize the outcome, focus your attention on the number one. See it as a pathway leading you towards that desired outcome. And feel the energy of unity and singularity that it represents. That means there's no way, there's no path other than that one path that you have already created. Your intentions are very clear. You're not going to move left or right because there's no way. This is the only path. And that's the only way you're going to go through that space, and you've already created the path. And the path is exactly looking at what your intention is. All right. The number 4 is trust the quantum field will bring your desired outcome into manifestation. All right. So when you open up the path, it's like a whole block of information is now coming in that space. All the other doors has moved. Only the golden door is now standing in front of you, saying the door is now open. It's all happening in here. So you have to trust the quantum field. All right. So your clear intention and the focus on the number one is now resonating with the quantum field and attracting the desired outcome into your reality. Number 5, you got to now start finally taking action towards the desired outcome. This may involve like setting small achievable goals or taking a leap of faith towards the biggest goal that you can think of. Trust that the number one path you have created with the clear intention will guide you towards the next step on your journey. Yep. So the number one path, as you put in the one, and the path is so clear, just keep walking. You do understand. Emotionally, you feel that you are moving forward, not for any reason. You're going backwards. Slow down, look again, move again into that path that you've already created. Yeah. So what I'm trying to achieve here is that the number one also serves as a guidepost for your spiritual evolution. As we grow and evolve, we encounter new challenges and opportunities that requires us to step outside of our comfort zone and embrace the new possibility. By using the number one pathway, we can navigate these challenges with great ease and confidence, knowing that we are aligned with the creative energy of the universe. Yeah. So in the sacred geometry, the number one place is very important. It's like the singularity where everything begins with. So you have to understand you are setting this singularity. Where is your understanding when it comes to the intention that you're creating here? The intention and the number one are crucial quantum hacks for living your best life. by setting very clear intentions and aligning yourself in the energy of unity and singularity, you harness the power of quantum field to manifest your desire, your great bright future for yourself and all other purpose for all humanity purpose. Yep. By following these steps, the 5 steps that I've given you, you can create a number 1 path with clear intentions. And with your creative energy of the universe, it will just guide you towards the desired outcome. Remember, intention is a powerful tool for manifestation of your dreams and reality. And the number 1 represents the singularity and unity. You are important. Your desires are important. And through that clear intention, you can create anything that you want. The number 1 in trusting the quantum field, you can create a clear path towards your desired future and tap into all your true potentials that's out there. Yeah. So this is where, the whole energy field is opening to the quantum hex of living your best life. You are the creator. What's coming from within is the path that's created. Every time you create a path, the number 1 path starts there. And then the number 1 will lead to another and another and another. But the number 1 path is the most important. And that is how you're creating your pathway. And to do that, you need to have a very clear intention about what you want in this world. Okay? All right. I hope I made some sense here. Now, until I'll see you next time, thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the world of sacred geometry and the power of number 1. And I hope that you find this video insightful and informative. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I always love to hear from my viewers to engage in discussion about these fascinating topics. Until next time, thank you for liking my channel and for being a part of this sacred journey. Don't forget to hit the button and share this video with your friends and family. As always, stay curious, stay open-minded, and keep exploring the mysteries of the universe. Thank you for now.